David Liberto. Thank you very much for joining us and being a part of the special segment of Faith Seeking Understanding. Got a question for you.
Sure.
I mean, you're our local theologian for the show. What is a theologian? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, first of all, just very quickly, theology.
Yeah.
If you break down the word, it's the study of God.
Of course.
And to be a theologian, it's difficult to say it's one thing or another. There are actually different disciplines within the theological field. So, for instance, there are some who specialize in moral theology.
Right.
And we have moral theologians at the seminary where I teach. There are some who specialize in sacred scripture. But even there's more specialization where someone does Old Testament,
right, of course,
New Testament, or the New Testament guy specializes in Paul and maybe doesn't do too much in the Gospels.
It's so rich that you have to have these different
There's so much
specialties,
information that you have to have these specialties. So there's dogmatic theology, there's sacramental theology, and then even within those disciplines, there are sub-disciplines.
Yes, yes. So what is it, particularly your interest as a theologian? Where is your focus?
I teach what's called dogmatic theology at the seminary.
Yeah.
That means I teach courses in Christology, Trinitarian theology, ecclesiology, all the ologies.
Right, exactly.
Okay? Whereas I have colleagues that teach, Pauline epistles.
Of course.
And that's the scripture scholar.
Right.
So we're all, in a sense, theologians, but we do have our various disciplines that we specialize in.
How does one become a theologian? How does that happen?
Well, it takes a long time. I think what is required before someone even embarks on that journey is to know what skills are kind of required even before you begin the study.
Right.
And we can boil it down into three, really. These come from a book by Aidan Nichols called The Shape of Catholic Theology, a very fine book, where he says the theologian needs three basic skills: memory, argumentation, and imagination. Memory. There's so much to know with regard to theology, because it's not only knowing the Bible, and of course as a dogmatic theologian I do have to know the sacred scriptures, but there are all the councils and various theologians and all the things that they've written. So say within Christology, I should know something about various titles of Christ in the New Testament.
Of course.
I should know something about various theologians in the early church, the Council of Chalcedon in 451. You have to have a lot of memory.
Yes,
There's
indeed,
a lot that you have to memorize. What did the council define? Subsequent developments to that. Argumentation. What we do typically is to follow and to make arguments, sound arguments that are within the parameters of the faith as we know it.
Yes.
So the theologian certainly is someone who should be maybe like what St. Augustine was, a rhetorician, someone who knows how to make and follow an argument. And lastly, because we're dealing with mysteries that are, in a sense, these infinite truths, the Trinity, the Incarnation, we need a theological imagination so that we can not only understand the basic foundational teaching of the Church, but to continue to probe and to, in a sense, shed more light on the mystery as we continue our theological endeavors.
Well, thank you so much. We're running out of time, and God bless your work at Notre Dame Seminary and with all the different ologies that you got going on out there. And thank you very much.
Sure. Great to be here.